give a little countdown. We'll get going in 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, Mario 1. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of this game. But Mario 1, one thing I'll try to highlight is kind of the differences between the two games on All-Stars and on the regular NES. Mario 1, the really big difference is that there are basically fixed hitboxes. So one of the things you always see on like YouTube or Facebook videos of Mario 1 runs is people complaining that they should have gotten hit by like piranha plants and stuff like that. They fixed that in this version. So it does make a few stages that are usually pretty easy a little tougher. But for the most part, a lot of the things are kind of the same. The game still operates on frame rules, which are those segments of 23 frames or 0.34 seconds, that kind of, or 21 frames, excuse me, and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of the stuff kind of transfers over, but there's enough of a difference where the two runs are kind of separated. So gonna get a mushroom here in 1-3. One of the biggest time saves in the warpless category is getting fire kills on Bowser's. I'll talk a little bit about that if I'm able to pull the one off in 1-4 here. Alright, so I land on that Koopa because that gives you a really good indication of where you are on the timer. You want to avoid 1s, 3s, and 6s on the timer so you don't get the fireworks. And that guy is basically 10 in-game seconds from the goal, so I knew I was okay there. I will be donating $1 for every firework I get in Super Mario Bros. 1 and 2J. So even if I do make some mistakes, we'll hopefully raise some good money. Alright, so I did 5 really, hopefully quick fireballs to kill Bowser. Oh, we got the little extra pause there. But what that does is it skips the bridge falling animation. So doing that is about 2 to 2.5 seconds, depending on how well you do the kill. Faster than just hitting the axe right away and watching the animation. So that's the big time save that you want to try and go for. Oh, you got hit, but that's okay. But the downside of the fire strats is that, like you saw there, now that I got hit, I'm back down to small Mario. I have to re-grab power-ups. So there's kind of pros and cons to both routes. The fire route is overall faster if it goes well, but Alright, rolling into 2-2, the first water stage. I don't have fire, so I'll have to just basically dodge around enemies. But I am small, so at least I have the decent hitbox. It's kind of like being big is the absolute worst thing in the water stages, because you have to deal with having a larger hitbox most of the time. There is a little trick you can do to make your hitbox smaller. And you also don't really have fire in order to get through some bad spawns. These cheeps and the way that the bloopers kind of react are all based on your frame. So if you know exactly what frame rule you're on, you can know exactly what kind of pattern you're going to see. But I have no idea what frame rule I'm on. I don't have that kind of skill level in this game to where I'm really going to be precise about what frame rule I'm on, so it's just kind of guesswork whenever I'm in one of these stages. Alright, coming up on 2-3. This is a cheap bridge. Pretty straightforward level. I'm going to have to pick up a mushroom here. And this can sometimes be tricky. Okay, yep. That guy gave me a little spoop, but we're alright. Man, I missed 3 coins. That's pretty rough. Very important that you get all the coins in 2-3 so that you can talk about how cool you are for getting all the coins in 2-3. There's really nothing else about it. It would be nice if I picked up an extra life or two due to coins, but hopefully won't be taking too many deaths where that matters. Did not like that fireball. Oh, okay. Alright. Not too bad of a kill. Yo, Raccoon Dog dropping the 500 bits. Thanks, man. Alright, 3-1 is a stage where you should probably have strats for, but I really don't. There's a couple of stages in this game where I don't feel like I do anything consistent in them ever, and this is one of them. Alright, get over there. Alright, we made it. That's what matters. The stage is done. Three 2 is a stage where you can kind of farm a few lives since you have these just long, flat stretches. You can kick a Koopa shell and kill enough enemies. Oh, dang. I got stairs. I got really stairs. Okay, we're out. Oops, that's the wrong movement. Alright. 258 is fine. Overall, World 3, pretty straightforward. 3-4 on the NES version is pretty notoriously difficult. But it's actually quite a bit easier on NES, and the reason for that is those Potaboos you see always jump all the way up to the max height on the screen. On NES, they don't go nearly as high, so you really have to deal with how they work. But on All-Stars, it's pretty free. My apologies, I'm dealing with a little bit of a cough. So I'll try to mute if I can, but if I do, or at least turn away from the mic, but if I do cough, I apologize. 4-1, this is kind of one of those stages that gets a lot more difficult on All-Stars. Since these piranha plants, on NES you can just jump right over them, it's easy. But on All-Stars, their hitboxes actually work, so you have to either shoot a quick fireball like I did or wait on them. Oh, we got a 6. Well, that's $6. I'll try to keep a running tally. Don't let me forget. I could have gone for that. There's a path to go the bottom route here in 4-2, but it's a lot trickier than going top route. But to get the top route, you have to, you know, without losing time, you want to hit that first elevator. All right. That's what you gotta do in your marathon runs. Just put every mistake you make towards charity. That way, it's not a mistake. It's free money. Alright, 4-3 is a really aesthetically awesome stage in All-Stars. You got the sick mushroom platforms. This is probably my favorite looking stage in the whole game. But now we're coming up. on 4-4, this is the first of the 2 puzzle castles, where you're kind of just supposed to figure out what the right way is to get to Bowser. What's nice on All Stars is that little ding right there that they give you to let you know that you've gone the right way, or you get a little burp when you go the wrong way. That isn't present on the NES version, so it can become really difficult to even figure out what's going on when you're in these castles. Like, I remember as a kid playing on the NES version, having absolutely no idea what was going on in these castles, and like why I was sometimes winning and why I was sometimes not winning. But they make it a little more straightforward on All Stars for you. Alright, starting in World 5, this is where things start to crank up in difficulty a little bit. 5-1's not too bad. There's a star I'm going to get here that'll make the level pretty easy. But then really 5-2, 5-3, and 5-4 is where the game starts taking it a little more hostile towards you. Nope, we got a 1. So, while I am still going to get 1 firework and $1 more for charity, or for the runners, it is actually faster to just take a single firework than it is to like slow down and wait. There's another level, I think it's 6-1 if I'm remembering correctly. Oh my gosh, where that guy, where if you do it optimally, you'll end up with a 1 on a timer, but it's not any faster to like wait it out and get the 0. Okay, that was a 5-2, I suppose. Yeah, 7-4, like, that one's... 4-4, you only have 2 paths to pick. 7-4, you have 6 different paths you have to take correctly. So it's really wild. Moving into 5-3, we have what I like to call the bills of questionable intent. These bills fire out randomly, like that, and sometimes completely screw you over. Okay. Oh my gosh, what's happening? Noted very good runner of this game, Cosmic, says that... you can react to any bullet bill you get, and you'll never get hit. But I think he's lying, because he's good at this game. But we made it out. We somehow still have fire. Alright, so 5-4 is a rehash of 2-4, except they just tacked on more fire bars, basically. And I'm going to wait for that. I could have probably squeezed under there, but I'm not going to risk it. One of the like wildest things about this game is that Mario's momentum is just awful. You get up to full speed really quickly, but you go from like almost no speed to start out. So if you don't have that, just that 1 extra pixel you need to get back to full speed, you have basically no speed. Oh, I almost saved that. Dang. Alright. It's true. Being good at a video game is unfair and shouldn't be allowed, honestly. That's why I'm not good at any video game. Keep getting that firebar pattern. I think there's a way to manipulate them, but I'm not entirely sure on how that all works out. Okay. Progress. Okay, so I definitely died there just to show you. Look at how slow that bridge animation is. That's 2 seconds we lost. That's why I died, was to show that off. So now you can all see. I wanted to give you guys a good example of what it looks like when you succeed and what it looks like when you don't. Alright, so 6-1. This stage is pretty straightforward. You've got this Lakitu that's throwing buzzies at you. But if you just run the whole time, he'll never actually throw one that will hit you. You can pick up power-ups in this level, but when you do that, he... oops, I slowed down there. When you do that, he will throw another beetle at you right away. That was scarier than it needed to be, but we're fine. So I wasn't quite perfect there, so I was 2 in-game seconds off, so I didn't get the one that you would normally get. But then 6-2, there's a lot of words you can say about 6-2. I don't think any of them are good. This is just a stage that has a ton of piranha plants coming out of pipes. And if you have fire, it's not so bad, but very often it seems like I don't. So I'm gonna grab that mushroom, hopefully keep it to the end of the stage, but if I don't, then that's okay too. Hello? But yeah, this is a stage where you can really gain and lose a lot of time if you have fire or not. Yep, I just shorted that jump. Okay, we're fine. And now we're moving into 6-3. This is another stage with builds of questionable intent. But this one you don't have to really deal with enemies or anything like that, so I find this one to be not as bad as 5-3. You just have to deal with the bills and like a couple of Koopas, so it's pretty okay. Wait, there's not even Koopas in this one. I was getting these levels mixed up. We good. Oh, there's another firework. Alright, $8. It's a different aesthetic on 6.3 on NES. Alright, we're gonna pick up this mushroom. 6-4. Again, they just kind of rehashed 1-4 this time with more fire bars. But especially depending on what kind of patterns we get here. Okay, we got some pretty comfy patterns. Sometimes you just end up taking a hit. Also, 6-4 Bowser. Oops, I bugged. It's where Bowser starts throwing hammers at you, which can make things a little interesting. Also, shoutouts to all the different Toad cutscenes they put on All Stars. Alright. Moving into 7-1. Oops. Didn't quite make that jump. No, I have no speed. Alright. Got a bad pattern from the bros there. You can, if you react quick enough, just make it through no matter what, but I didn't, Oh, okay. Just didn't press jump. There we go. Oh, I shorted that. Okay, I'm gonna take an intentional death here, because if you die and game over, you go back to the beginning of the world you were on, and especially in World 8, the possibility of dying is pretty strong. So we'll do a really quick tactical game over, and now we're back in business. I'm just gonna wait this time. I learned my lesson, maybe. I'm gonna grab this mushroom for some protection. I'm gonna climb up these stairs abysmally slowly. Okay, we're out. Big fan of just not pressing jump. I know, right? I thought it would work out for me. Apparently it didn't, but you know, it'd be like that sometimes. Okay, so 7-2. The Mario 1 game designers, in all of their brilliance, were like, yo, what if, okay? And follow me on this. What if we did 2-2 again, right? But we just put more bloopers in it. How dope is that? And apparently nobody had the good sense to tell them how very much not dope this is. I'm trying to get a really quick crouch on the coral or the ground, because if you can do that, you can actually keep your small hitbox. I don't think I got it there, but you have to like crouch and swim right off immediately. But we're almost to the end of the stage anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. Okay. Just one less. One less, and it'd be perfect. Alright, so 7-3, a rehash of 2-3, except they tacked some Koopas on this time. But adding those Koopas can make it very difficult. I don't know why I hit that block. Especially when they do that. I hit that block so that Cheep would hit that Koopa. Because sometimes if they collide with each other, the Koopas just turn around instantly. And it really throws you off. And now I don't have speed. Okay. We made it. Alright, so now we're moving into 7-4, the other puzzle castle. This one requires you to go bottom, middle, top, top, middle, top. And I say that not to show how smart I am, but because I don't want to forget. Alright, good turn back there to keep my speed. See what 7-4 Bowser does. This fight can sometimes be tricky, but looks like he backed up right away. If he backs up right away and you can get underneath the Potaboo, it's not too bad. Alright, picking up this star here. You can get through this without it, but it's definitely much safer to take it. Unfortunately, they didn't add the gaining extra lives from killing enemies. So many enemies with the star until SMB3, otherwise he could farm quite a bit of lives on 8-1. But we made it. 8-1's the longest stage in the game. This is also where the game decides to turn off checkpoints in the middle of the stage, so any death in 8-1 can be super, super costly. And now we're moving into 8-2. Another tricky level. Oh! You ever just wall jump? Okay, I gotta set this up so I can get enough speed. Okay, we made it. Oh, wow. Alright, we're fine. Everything is great. So there's that bullet bill launcher that you know of if you are fans of the any % run. A fun fact about the All-Stars version, doing flagpole glitch actually soft locks the game. So you don't want to do it. Completely planned wall jump. That was exactly how I drew this stage up. Oh, the double. 2 quick ones. Alright, so 8-3, a stage where you have to deal with a lot of Hammer Bro RNG. And I lost my mushroom there, unfortunately. I was going to try to get a Fire Flower. There is another power-up in the next set of bros, but I find I end up hurting myself more than helping myself when I go for it. So we're just gonna scoot over those guys, and we'll just use this as a hit to take right there. Okay, we made it. That's all I really wanted, is just to get out of 8-3 without dying, so. Alright, so rolling into 8-4. 8-4, I guess technically another kind of puzzle castle. You gotta pick the right pipes and whatnot in order to make it to the next level, and if you ever pick the wrong one, it sends you back to the beginning. Right here we're going to do a quick turnaround, and so what that does is actually loads the next pipe into the pipe we just went under. If you go into that pipe without going so far enough on the screen, it's the wrong pipe and it'll take you back to the beginning, but by doing a really quick turnaround we can actually get the right location. That's kind of the same trick that's used in 4-2 in order to take the pipe but actually have it treat you as you went down the vine. Uh-oh. Dang it. Alright, I messed up the jump there. If you keep your speed and do a full jump off of that pipe, you'll clear that Hammer Bro every time. But I lost my speed. So it's okay, we get to see 8-4 again. Who doesn't like it? Alright. The Hammer Bro is a gamer. Hammer Bros are definitely your worst enemy in this game. I think that's far enough. It was. Okay. It's really easy to tell on NES because you can like count how many bricks there are in between on the right edge of the screen to see if you made it or not. I don't know why I went for that. But I don't know of a good visual cue on All Stars. There probably is one, but I always just kind of lean towards going way past to make sure. Okay. All right. This is gonna this is gonna throw off all the fire bars, so I have no idea what's going on. That nerd out of here. All right. Let's try this again and not mess it up, maybe. There we go. All right. Here's Bowser. We did it. All right. So you can reset as soon as you do the last input or touch the axe, anything like that. So that's Mario 1. Now we're going to 2U, and we're picking the best character in 2U, Luigi. So Mario 2, other than being like insanely more difficult than Mario 1, also lets you pick between Mario and Luigi. Luigi jumps a little higher, but has slower acceleration and deceleration. So Mario is generally just a slight bit faster because he accelerates a little better. But a lot of this comes down to character choice. The higher jumps that Luigi has does help a couple of times throughout the run. And you notice there I turned around to hit the top of the flagpole. For whatever reason, on the All-Stars version, if you do a backwards jump and hit the top of the flagpole, your character falls off a little faster. So I'm going to try to do that on every single flagpole in order to save just little bits of time. Did I say 2U? I meant 2J. We'll get to 2U. Don't worry. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, everything's fine. I wasn't worried. Alright, so the way fireworks work in 2J is a little different than how they work in SMB1. Instead of it being on 1, 3s, or 6s, it's actually based on your coin count. So I have a 1 in my coin count right now. If I end with a 1 on the timer, I'll get fireworks. And how it works is if you have an odd number, you get 3 fireworks. If you have even numbers, you get 6 fireworks. And also, if you happen to have a multiple of 11 on your coin count and you hit the same digit on the timer, you get a 1-up. So they got a lot fancier with that kind of stuff. Oh no. Alright, we made it. So I don't really, in general, keep track of coin count, especially because I don't really usually get consistent times at the end. So I really don't know how many fireworks I might end up with in this run. We'll just have to see. Also, I've been talking for a while, and there's somebody else around here who can talk for a while, and that's Sage. So why don't you take it away, Sage? If you got any donations or you want to plug any incentives coming up, anything like that, go ahead.
I do have a $5 donation from Karaoke. The promise $5. Thank you very much for your 2 runs karaoke. Coming up soon, we got an incentive for Mario Kart 64 that is a character bid. You can pick between Peach, Toad, and Yoshi, and that is coming up in 4.5 hours. That's going to be closed. So get your donations in for that. In a little over 5.5 hours, Dark Terex is going to be playing Mute Crimson, and there is a bid war to determine what color the game is going to be. They're going to use the colorblind option to pick the game color. Right now, yellow is in the lead with $50. Terex has specifically not asked for yellow, so please keep the donations coming in for yellow. Our Super Mario Odyssey harder Bowser fight has been met. So the next one after that is going to be Bastion, a bonus any percent run later that night. That's a $50 incentive that we still don't have any donations for, so we need to get that funded.
Speaking of funding, I just got some fireworks. Yay. So I think that's up to 14. What color would you want, DT, for your Mute Crimson run?
If I could interrupt,
Yeah, go ahead.
Colonel Fatso just donated $55 green for Mute Crimson Plus,
Oh.
which puts it in the lead by $5.
Want pink this time? Yo, pink sounds like a good color. Alright. I'm all aboard the pink train for Mute Crimson. So get your money in for pink. Right now. Green? You want green? He keeps... No, I'm donating pink now. Want it to still be yellow? That's true. That's true. Fatso... Keeping the bid war hot. That's what you gotta do. Alright, there is a power up here in 2-3, but it's kind of awkward to get, so we're just gonna peace out. I can get a fire flower in 2-4 that's not too bad to get, so hopefully we can be back up to fire Luigi at that point. There is going to be a point in the run where getting power-ups is precarious enough that it really isn't going to help. So I'll probably just stop even trying to go for fire kills. Probably just try to get some mushrooms for backup, but at least hopefully try to in the first few worlds. Oh no, get some fire kills. I did not crouch in time, apparently. Well, that's alright. Oh, they're gonna take the top two colors. So there you go. Who gets stuck with what, though? That's the real question. That was not the strat. That was not the one we're looking for. I think I hit the checkpoint though. So yeah, okay. Got a little confused on where in the level I was. I didn't think I would make it up to that pipe. Okay, that's fine. The nice thing about All-Stars 2J is that instead of starting back at the beginning of the world you were on, you go back to the beginning of the level you were on. So it's a lot more forgiving in that way. Hey, we got 6 more fireworks. $20. Guarantee if yellow is in, Terex will be playing it. Alright, so we're going into 3-2. This is the first water stage of 2J. And it's pretty bad. So normally in SMB1, you can kind of see where you're going to get pulled down because of the pits. But in 2J, it kind of just happens randomly. Sometimes you'll be going over a pit. It doesn't happen randomly. Like, it happens in the same spots, but there's no real way to tell. You'll get pulled down by spots that aren't pits. You'll go over pits and not get sucked down. It's real mayhem. And you know also have to deal with all of these bloopers and cheap sheeps, and they even threw some Koopas underwater somehow. Alright, 3-3 is a stage that I am absolutely convinced is procedurally generated. I've played this stage, I don't know how many times, but I have no idea what it looks like every time. It's completely different. I think it's just how open this stage is, that in a lot of stages of 2J, you kind of have one correct answer. and all the other ones are terrible. 3-3, I think you just have a lot of decent options, so it's hard to like remember exactly what you do every time. See, there's one more blooper. It's tough. It's tough stuff. All right, so this is the first of the puzzle castles in 2J. Kind of the rule of thumb for puzzle castles in 2J is find the absolute worst possible path you can take, and that's the one you gotta go on. Alright, wanted to make sure I hit that buzzer before turning around. You can actually kind of get your position messed up if you turn around in the wrong spot, and the game will never actually check that you made it to the correct spot to progress the map. But there's that fire bar that's kind of right where you want to be, so it's a little... not too precise, but you can mess it up if you're not careful. Alright, rolling into 4-1. This is a pretty tricky stage. It features the blooper again, but they made the Lakitu again, but they made the rest of the stage very difficult. So it's not quite as free as SMB 141. That I didn't want to jump on top of that block. Alright, we made it though. Yo, we got the 1-up. And $6 more. See, I just wanted to show off what happens when you have the multiple 11. Because I know some of you out there are like, Glib's making stuff up. He's not, but it's true. We got a 1-up. Like I said, lives in this version really don't matter too much, since you just start at the beginning of the level anyways. But if you are trying to play this on the Famicom version, and you're looking for a way to get a few extra 1-ups, trying to farm those multiple of 11s is a good option. Ooh, I got the tricky bro in 4-2, but we're okay. Yeah, we're up to 26. Thank you for the constant reminders though. Yeah, exactly. This is a showcase run. I gotta show all the fun stuff that looks like mistakes. Alright, so 4-3 is where we start seeing the bills of questionable intent come into play in 2J. This is also a stage that's like a lot trickier as Mario. There's a few jumps that, are basically right at Mario's max jump. But Luigi has enough where he can make them pretty easily. I don't know why I mashed through the timer counting down. It does absolutely nothing. I think I just get bored. Alright, 4-4. It's kind of where the castles start getting tougher. They definitely get really rough once you get to like 5-4 and 6-4. This one, probably the worst thing about it is this very end right here. You have to deal with this small platform, and Bowser almost always seems to shoot a shot that's just really awful to deal with. And then he does that. But I was about to say you get a really tough Bowser fight after that as well. But we'll see that in a second. Hopefully. Okay, so yeah, Bowser has put a wall in front of him. We got a good pattern there where he moved back. If he moves forward, it starts to get really gnarly, but... no, this category does not do the secret worlds. This is just the regular 8-4 warpless. I think the main reason that it does that, even though... So, like, in the Famicom version, you have to do some special things in order to unlock the letter worlds. But in All-Stars, you can just go straight through it. So it doesn't have that kind of like special, come on. Doesn't have the special requirement that it does on Famicom. But I think honestly the main reason that, like, this was already decided before I started doing any runs of this game. I should pay attention. I think it was kind of decided that in order to give it a little more of a difference between the warpless and 100% runs. Because in SMB1 and in 2U, the warpless and 100% runs, you do the exact same thing. You just do all stages. So instead of it just being like you play the video game, except you just do 100% of SMB3 instead of warpless, it makes the categories a little different. So, anyways, we're in 5-1. The stage is forever long. I was trying to make a Luigi only jump, but yeah, we're not going to make that. Okay. That's one of the few jumps that Luigi can make that makes sections a little easier. You don't have to deal with those pipes. But I didn't quite do the right movement there. But every time you think this level's over, there's just a little bit more you have to go through. Yo, I hit that top coin first? That's dope. Well, we're finally towards the end, I promise. I think this is the first level that also introduces wind. Yeah, I think this is the first one. So. We'll see wind a few more times throughout the run. Alright, 5-2 is a stage that gets much easier once you realize there's a mushroom there. This will let you just go across the top. The normal speedruns, like people who are really good at this game, can go down those bottom routes, but I don't want to mess with all that nonsense, so we'll just take the easy road out. You do want to make sure that you turn around for this one, though. Since this is warpless, you don't want to go to the warp zones. And I can't remember, that one might actually be a backwards warp zone. Because this game wasn't cruel enough, they had to introduce backwards warp zones. Alright, 5-3... Pretty straightforward stage. You do go down into this little bonus area. The downside of this is that you end up skipping the checkpoint of the stage, so if you die here in this stage, you always have to go back to the beginning. And you have to deal with some bills of questionable intent towards the end. I'm gonna... yeah. Alright, just want to make sure. Sometimes this stage gives me fits, so I don't want to do anything dumb. Hey, we got 6 more fireworks. Oh my gosh. Alright, what is that, 32? Do I accept memes in advance? Absolutely, Artie. I know what meme you're talking about. It's a very important meme. We'll use this as a trial run, so go ahead. Also, this is 5-4. I don't normally go into this stage big, so I'm a little unsure about what I'm doing. We'll just make this happen. Okay, we're small. Now I know what's going on. Calculated. Oh, that fire bar was not where it normally was. Yo, thanks for that whale of attachment. Everybody... Oh, that whale's busted. What happened to your whale, Artie? Uh-oh. Yeah, that wasn't gonna work out for me. Alright, this is just one of those stages that, like, for me, I have to do it the exact way I do it. And if anything goes wrong, I'm pretty much gonna die. So if you got any donations or anything, go ahead and fire them off. Is my chat off? Maybe the pop-out chat is wrong. Because that whale looks busted on my end. Well, if it works on your end, then we'll call it good. Okay, there's a good fire bar. Alright, Bowser, please cooperate. We'll take it. I blame Twitch's pop-out chat. Because I gotta, like, shrink it. There we go. Now it works. See, this is why we did the trial run. Because now, when the whales become important, they won't look all busted. So good work, everyone. Proud of it. Everything we accomplished here today. Oh, I jumped, but that's fine. So 6-1, this is a stage that is a bit different on Famicom. You can actually clip into that coin block area right there. And you don't even have to hit the coin block. You just jump and it just happens. It's pretty dope. But you can't do it on this version. You have to actually make the jumps. Alright, we'll just wait this time, I guess. Alright, we got a good bro. Gonna grab this mushroom. It's cheap. This Koopa, dude! What the heck? Why did he do that? Right, well, we hit the checkpoint, so that's good. I don't know why that Koopa was rolling to the right, but I thought it'd be okay. Turns out it wasn't okay. But hey, it's our best friend, the wind, again. Oh, and he... Yeah. Okay. We made it. And if I did this movement right, which I didn't... Oh, that guy still pieced out. Okay, cool. That top piranha plant, if you get like all the other ones on screen quick enough, he'll just like bail for whatever reason. If 131 whales are not posted, that's a lot of whales already. But that's fine. And we made it out of 6-1, and now we're in 6-2. I don't know if I feel great about that because we got to do more swimming. And I think this one generally falls in the one blooper too many category. Okay. Saw my life flash before my eyes. Let's just go this way, because every other way looks terrible. That was risky, but it worked out. It's cheap, just gonna slow roll right into my way. Okay, we're out though. That's the important part. Yeah, thanks for that whale, DT. DT's prepping. It's gonna be like, it's coming up in a while, so I don't want anybody getting whaled out, you know. 6-3 is a running cheap stage. I'm gonna try to get at least one power up here. We'll see how that goes. Much like 2-3 or 7-3, if you try to get a power up on this stage, you're really at the mercy of what the cheaps are gonna do. So now we're gonna play a fun game chat. It's called "How long do I keep this fire flower?" The answer might surprise you. It certainly surprised me because I made it out of 6-3 with it. Read it in an email. Seems legit. Alright, 6-4, another puzzle castle. So again, just figure out what the absolute worst possible option for you to take is, and that's the correct one. Where's this firebar? There it is. Yeah, big fireball. Okay. Alright, made the jump. This is a really fun Bowser kill on Famicom, because with the Podoboo, your fireballs, and Bowser's hammer, there's just way too much on screen, and your entire like top portion of the game just freaks out. So, that's a fun one. Alright, 7-1 is a stage that hopefully won't be too bad. Here's the Luigi only jump to just skip all that nonsense. But then we can hopefully grab this star here and take it to the end of the stage. Not have to deal with all of this, especially right here. The Koopa Hammer Bro Wombo combo. Alright, 7-2, a lot like 5-2. But it's a bit different. It's got its own little fun stuff. I'm actually happy I have fire here. I don't have to go up and climb and get the fire flower up there. But we're going to take care of that Lakitu. There'll be another one, but hopefully... No, we're not going to... Oh, I didn't jump! I pressed jump, but it was while I was turning around, so... Did not play out. And again, like 5-2, we don't get a checkpoint since we take the underground path. But that's okay. It had been a long time since I had died, and I think everybody was not sure if you could still die. Don't worry, you can still die in this game. And we get to hear the bonus music some more. Oh. Oh, okay. None of that was planned, but it worked out. Except it didn't. Impossible game. We game overed. It means nothing. I guess we lose our coins and our score. We're not gonna get the high score, I'm sorry. We get to hear more bonus music, though. Its bonus music is fresh, so... I hate trying to ever have speed in this game. Okay, just come over here. Yeah, get out, nerd. Alright, we did it. Okay, I had like no speed that entire second half of the stage, but whatever. We made it. Alright, 7-3 is actually a pretty fun stage once you like know the tricks of it. It's probably one of the most frustrating stages casually, but it's pretty dope in a speedrun. You can skip springs and do some fun stuff, so... This level gets rehashed in the letter stages. C3 does this level, but with Lakitus. That's kind of one of the real big themes, is like redoing stages, but now also there's Lakitus. Now also there's me jumping into a pit. Stuff like that. I lost my fire, which kind of sucks, but that's not the worst thing that could happen. Alright, so we landed far enough to the right on that spring where we can actually just skip that one and go all the way to the last little section here. That's another jump that's way easier to do with Luigi than it is with Mario. So clearly Luigi, the superior brother. So 7-4. I'd like to have a talk about 7-4 Bowser, but all of the words I would use to describe it are not safe for this stream. So we're just going to say that I really, really, really need to pick up and carry a power-up to him. For whatever reason, if you don't crouch there, sometimes that jump actually becomes way more difficult. I don't know why. Hitboxes happen, I guess. I'm gonna make sure we don't... that's what I wanted to make sure I didn't do. So here we are. Big chillin'. Yeah, I figured that was gonna happen. It's really hard to... You can keep a mushroom through there, but it's pretty tough to do. This stage, if you watch any actual speedrunners of 2J, this stage is insane. Because instead of waiting for those fire bars like I just did, they just clip up top. That was a good fireball. You know what? Sometimes you just gotta tip your hat to Bowser. He did a real great job back there, and I'm proud for him. Not happy for me, but you know, it's a good moment for him. Alright, let's try this again. This time with less falling down, hopefully. Nope, same amount of falling down. Exact same amount. Oh no. Well, friends, I would like to proceed forward. There we go. Easy trick. Alright, still got our mushroom. No problems. Okay. He's so good! Alright, here's 7-4 Bowser. It's really hard, and I hate it. And we made it through. Alright, World 8's actually not super terrible. 8-1's kind of tough. But, did I? Oh, there's the mushroom. I like went one further than I thought or something. Alright, whatever. Just big chill. Dang, I tried to, like, end this man's whole career with that Buzzy Beetle shell, but it didn't work out. Oh, okay. It's gonna yeet over that guy. Alright, we got Unchill Bro, but he bounced down. The whole reason for getting that mushroom was in case Unchill Bro does unchill things. Uh-oh. Alright, we made it. This run, this will be a completed playthrough of Super Mario 2J. I can say that much. Hopefully. I'm usually not big for this stage, so this might throw some things off. Let's see what happens. Okay, cool. Don't want to do that. Also didn't want to hit the brick and break it. So 8-2, I say as I'm dying on it. Stage that's not so much difficult as it is tricky. You have to take that vine up to the top to get to the end of the stage. If you don't, you hit a pipe that loops you back towards like the like first third of the stage. Alright. But now we're going to 8-3. 8-3 is a really like the epitome of SMB2J. Because how this game really does a lot of what it does in terms of its difficulty is it kind of assumes that you're going to take things slow and try to figure out what's going on. And that's the worst possible thing you can do in this game because that's how it sets up all the traps. If you go really fast and just can react well enough, the game becomes a lot easier. But obviously if you don't know what's coming, it becomes way trickier as you have to slow down constantly. And 8-3 is absolutely the epitome of that. That stage is so much tougher when you don't know what's going on. Kind of is a Mario Maker level almost. But hey, we're rolling into 8-4. Which is good, because that means this game's almost done. Just gonna make sure that lava still kills you. It does. Alright, cool. Okay, once again, confirming. Mario 1 and 2, Jay, like when you press the B button to jump, it's not really so much of a jump button, it's more of a like, hey, just throwing that out there as a suggestion, maybe you should jump. Sometimes it doesn't always happen. Okay, that turnaround room is a lot trickier with Luigi. Since he doesn't decelerate or go back to the left as quickly, you don't have as much leeway as you do with Mario. We got one more little checkpoint to make there. Okay, I always aim for that green Koopa, but sometimes, especially lately, I've been hitting the red Koopa. So that throws everything off. But, hey, we got fake Bowser. Just big chillin' here. Alright, in the words of I Ate Your Pie, I'd have to really screw up now. But unlike I Ate Your Pie, it didn't actually screw up. Alright, we did. 2J's done. We're out. Alright. We're not done with Luigi just yet, though, gamers. We're going to use him for the first couple levels here of 2U. So 2U, in case you're like the third to last person on Earth who doesn't know the lore behind this, 2U actually started out as a game called Doki Doki Panic. And then when they were making 2J, the fine folks at Nintendo were like, yo, 2J is way too hard for the Western audiences. They're gonna hate it. So let's take this Doki Doki Panic game that they don't really know about because it's made for a Japanese festival, and let's just put Mario characters in it and add a run button. And it'll be great. And it is. The thing about the run button is that it breaks a whole lot of these levels because they're not planned in initially. But all these like classic quote-unquote Mario characters like Shy Guy, Birdo, a lot of those all started out as Doki Doki Panic characters that just kind of got molded into the Mario lore. Yeah, since I reset the console, and it's right next to, like, it's on the floor, I actually end up just hitting the split button with my hand instead of my foot. I have a foot pedal to split, so splits are allowed in this game. Okay. So here's one of those skips that really only works with a run button. We can just jump from the top of that magic carpet over top of all the inner parts of the game. So hey, cool. Fighting Birdo. Especially the early levels of this game are really all dependent on Birdo cycles. Birdo starts her timer as soon as you enter the level. So no matter what time you get there, like whatever you do in the level, it's just all about what Birdo cycle you get. So now we're gonna roll on to Toad. So Toad replaces Papa. Papa's normally the slowest character in Doki Doki Panic, but he gets a little faster when he picks something up. Toad starts as the fastest character. Oops. Platform despawn. Toad starts as the faster character, but still gets the speed when he picks up an item. So a lot of these stages, especially the horizontal ones, it's the best strats are to choose Toad, pick up an enemy, and start running. There we go. The downside, the downside of Toad is that he does not jump very high. So there's a stage or two where it's actually faster to use a different character simply because of the jump height. I made it, but I got too scared to pick up the key quick enough. So that's Phanto. If you've ever played this game, you're probably terrified of him as a kid, and maybe still as an adult. That's normal, right? But we moved fast enough. Oh, okay, we almost got sniped. Everything's fine. We moved fast enough to where he really isn't a problem in like almost every stage that you have to grab a key. Just gonna be careful here because I can't take another hit. Alright, so we're gonna fight Mauser. Mauser throws bombs, but is also weak to bombs. Kind of a questionable decision, but you know. Gonna let him live his own life. I'm going to be trying to do a pause glitch here to skip this final fanfare. No, we didn't get it there. So if you pause in the right frame, you actually, the door will open, but you don't have to sit there for the fanfare. I'm planning on donating $5 for any of those that I skip, but it's frame perfect, so we'll see. It's one of the reasons I'm playing on the Japanese 1.0 version. I haven't brought that up yet because it hasn't been relevant. But the Japanese 1.0 version pauses and unpauses much faster than any other version of the game. So like you can have a couple of attempts at getting the fanfare skip and have it not lose time. But I've been talking for a while again. Go ahead and take away any donations that might have come in the meanwhile.
Thanks. We have a $5 donation from Demulant TV. Let's go. We also have thank you to everyone who has donated bits in chat. Again, if you donate a single donation of $10 or more, or 1,000 bits or more cheer during the marathon, you will be entered to win a $100 gift card of your choice, either Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, or Steam. As far as incentives coming up, we do have Mario Kart 64 in just under 4 hours, a character bid war. Right now, Yoshi is in the lead by $5. That is between Yoshi, Toad, and Peach. Yoshi is the fastest one, and Toad is the slowest of the three. So that sets out your goals if you're looking to help or troll the runner. We also have a Mute Crimson, and actually, correct me from earlier, the top 2 runs, because this is a race, the top 2 colors will get picked. So right now, our 2 colors are green with $55 and yellow with $50. Please continue to direct that yellow incentive to make Terex play yellow, please.
Y'all are so mean, but I understand it. I'm gonna try in 2-2 here to collect enough cherries to pick up a star at the right spot. You can see these Shy Guys all chasing me down. I don't think I'm gonna get it now. Maybe we'll go over here. Picking up a star, here we go, will actually help deal with all these enemies. Oh, that's probably too much. And if I go fast enough, I can hit this Sniffit with the star. Okay, we still got him. Alright, cool. Now, hopefully we can get a fast Birdo kill here. This is the first Birdo that starts shooting 3 things at you instead of just 1. And this Birdo... still not very fast. This Birdo will shoot a random selection between an egg and a fireball. So you want to throw the mushroom at it just to kill it quick. Oops. I want to get over on the right side of this ladder because of reasons. It makes that Bezo spawn, so that's the fastest enemy to pick up. I don't know why it only happens when you're on the right side of the ladder, but it does. Oops. There we go. But if I'm able to keep my power up here, I'm going to try and go for a quick kill onto Triclide. But I need to be big because it requires you to take damage in order to get it, so. I also spawned that star before I really wanted to. But that's okay. Just have to deal with the Shy Guys. One thing you can do right there is dig one way and then turn around and go the other. They'll try to home in on you so they won't hit that next hole. And they'll just turn the other way. Dang. Alright, well, that's unfortunate. Not going to be able to go for the quick kill. This is a section that's really cool to watch the top runners go through. Both the digging down and the hops up afterwards. Because both require... You don't want to mash through them, they just require really tight timing. And the really best runners of this game just absolutely fly through these sections. But this is Triclide. You can actually use that bird over there to pick it up and... Oh, I would like to pick up an item. And throw it at Triclide to get an extra hit. But you have to take damage. We didn't get it. Unfortunate. 0 for 2 on pause glitches.
Could I interrupt with the donation?
Fire away.
Handsome Jack donated $110.
Wow.
Mario Block hype. Let's bring him over. Can't wait for the 4 to 6 relay.
Yeah, if you like Mario, stay tuned. HJ is going to be on right after this with some Super Mario World, so we keep the good times coming. Also, shoutouts to Stream Quality Room. Get a nice waterfall. That room, if you ever have played Doki Doki Panic, be very careful when you go into that room because the waterfall is off the chain in that room, and it honestly hurts your eyes to even look at it. But they made it a little nicer on the NES and Super Mario All-Stars version, so it's not as terrible. That's a pretty good kill. So now, we've had some fun with Toad for a while, but we're actually going to swap over to Toadstool. Every character in this game has their own kind of different stats and abilities. Toadstool's is that she can float in the air, and we're going to take advantage of that in this stage. So we're going to float over here. This gets us to the quickest ladder. Then we're going to do a little wall clip and a wall jump right there in order to go over to the top of the stage. This will allow us to skip all this like intersection. And then we just climb up this ladder and we're right to the end of the stage. Yeah, 3-1 is basically Bubble Man stage. Really similar energies. Alright, so now the character swapping continues. We're actually going to get our only usage of Mario in the run. The reason we use Mario in this stage specifically, Mario has no real special characteristics. He jumps normally, he runs, you know, average speed, all that kind of stuff. But he's the fastest character other than Toad. But there's a couple of jumps here that Toad would have to charge up a super jump to make that Mario can just make normally. So after everything's said and done, Mario becomes the fastest character in this stage. Oops. There we go. So I want to throw that guy over here so we can just super jump off of him, skip a whole bunch of this stage. I'm going to try to get 4 fireballs on the screen when I scroll up. That'll despawn the Sniffet that's at the top of the screen. I'm just going to wait for it. I think I could have made it, but... The Sniffet that spawns right there is a gamer and will snipe me like 9 times out of 10, so I just despawn him every time. Oops, I missed that jump. So this is the room that's full of jumps that Toad has a lot of trouble making, but Mario can clear pretty easily, so... If you're a fan of Mario, this is your only time you're going to see him in this game. But don't worry, we'll see him throughout all of SMB3. Alright, so now we get another fight against our friend Mouser. This time... He has like a kind of a harder starting pattern to get into, especially if you're missing bombs. Mouser 1, like, is pretty easy to get the pattern you want, but Mouser 2 can be really tough. Oh, I missed that bomb. And I didn't get that one either. Dang. It's not a very good fight. Oh! I would like to grab a bomb, though. You also have to deal with the Sparky guy moving around. He's kind of a pain. Sometimes he just dies like that. That's not gonna work. Oof. Okay, he's dead. Oh, we didn't get it again. This is so sad. Shout out to the Doki Doki Panic bombs that say B-O-M with 3 letters for some reason. I'm talking a lot about Doki Doki Panic because good buddy of mine, Lack Attack 24, has been doing runs of it to prep for AGDQ. I'd highly suggest checking that run out. Doki Doki Panic is an absolutely hilarious game. But rolling into 4-1, this stage actually doesn't feature a boss battle. But we have this big section where the Shy Guys are riding on what look like movie cameras that shoot fireballs. Oh, we didn't get that guy to fall down. If you go fast enough, that Shy Guy can actually clip down under the ground and get out of bounds for some reason. We didn't get it. Alright, So we talked about this a little earlier. We saw some whales in the chat. The reason for that is we have a very important room coming up. The most important room in this game. It's coming up right after this one. So I need you all to get ready. Prepare yourselves for a very special moment in the run. Not me getting hit right there, I promise. Not me dying right there. Okay, it's just extra build-up. It's extra build-up. We're going to get even more excited. But it's time, everybody, for the whales of attachment. Look at these whales. Get your whales of attachment in the chat now. Yo, thanks for those whales. So this is another level where, oops, farming a star is very important. We can actually get a star right at the end of the stage here and take it all the way to the Birdo fight, and we just one-hit Birdo. It's a cool little strat. You'll notice that I'm picking Peach. Peach is a fine character for this stage, but there's going to be a few more stages in World 5 and 6 where I pick Peach. Not because she's the fastest, but simply because the actual fastest character is very, very difficult, and Peach is pretty straightforward and easy. Oops. Okay, we took damage there for no reason. I picked up that mushroom for safety, but then we got hit anyway, so it didn't matter. But the reason you want to pick either Peach or Luigi in this stage is here's another broken mechanic of the run button. You can actually jump over, skip that entire first indoor part, and just go straight to the third door, and then to the boss. So this is Fry Guy. He's a special boss that only appears on the... Doesn't appear in Doki Doki Panic, only appears on... Oh, that's unfortunate. On 2U. But there's a quick kill for this guy, apparently. They tell me. I think it's a myth. And this boss is impossible, but, you know. Everybody is allowed their own opinion, I guess. Alright, we got it. Alright. It's really hard to get the pause glitch on that one. Why did I pick Peach? Or why did I not pick Peach? I don't know. Here we are as Toad, I guess. This might be really bad, actually. We'll see what happens. Just have to improvise some strats here. I don't remember what I was gonna say. Too focused on gaming, I guess. Alright, we made it. A little slower, but that's fine. Oh, hello? Alright, we got the fight. Alright. Oh, in Doki, you actually fight Mauser and Triclide extra times. Or am I remembering this incorrectly? Is it just the boss of this world? Because there's a third Mauser fight. Do you fight Fire Guy in Doki? I'd have to remember now. I know the boss of the fifth world is just another Mauser fight in Doki. But now that I'm thinking about it, I want to say Fry Guy's in Doki. I can't remember, it's been too long. But yeah, here's the stage where normally you pick like Toad or Luigi. And you do a lot of things called vine jumps. So you actually have a little bit of a frame window when you walk, like basically walk off of a vine to where you can do a jump. So Luigi is pretty commonly picked here because he can do that. He's got a way larger frame window where you can still jump. But Toad is technically a bit faster if you can pull them off. So this is another stage that's really fun to watch a top runner play because they can absolutely just soar through that room right there. But then we get a nice long fall and we get into a Birdo fight once again. Alright, we're gonna use this fish because I want to use the fish. Probably didn't need to, or maybe even shouldn't, but whatever. A lot of times you just kind of use that fish as like a, I got a fireball or something instead of getting an egg, but yeah, now that I'm talking about it and Louise has it too, yeah, Mauser 3, it replaces the boss of this world, not Fry Guy. I was getting them mixed up. So my apologies. Sorry for the incorrect lore. You gotta respect the lore, it's what we're here for. We're also here to raise money for some awesome speedrunners. Why don't you tell us about them? Oops, I went back in the door. Oh, that's not where I want to put that. I want to actually slide through this gap. Oh, come on. This guy came back. Oh, please. There we go, we did it. Alright. The rest of this tree climb is kind of tricky. Oh, that's bad. Oh, okay. That was not how we drew it up, but it worked out. I think Fry Guy is still in Toki. It's this boss coming up, Aweglib, that is replaced. Okay. I guess that occurred. A lot of times I end up getting a heart after this Birdo, so maybe, hopefully... The jukes! Birdo's a gamer. We get a heart? No. Okay. Well, we'll just have to roll into Aweglib with one hit. So you can actually get more than one hit off of a rock with Aweglib. What you want to do is, after not getting hit, you want to actually throw it against the back wall. And you can actually get all 5 hits in one if you get a good movement from him, but you'll like always get like 2, maybe 3. That time we only got 1. Aweglib making me look like a fool. Okay, we got him. Yo, we got the skip. All right, there was a fanfare skip for you. So that's $5 more. I think that brings the total to 37. Oh, that's unfortunate. Not the total that I got hit there. I told you all I would forget. I knew this would happen. I'm digging so slowly. One of the downsides of Toadstool is she is the slowest to pick up items and dig. And that room right there is a pretty big indication of that. I'm gonna throw that to get Fanto off my back. Get Birdo, that's not cool. Alright, whatever. I had to take that fight really safe because I only had 1 hit, but we got there. Alright, we're rolling into 6-2. This stage has a really dope Luigi strat where you can jump all the way across this huge chasm by bouncing off of birds. but it's super duper hard and I've never really tried it, so I just picked Peach. And we get a nice Ride Your Bird update. This run's pretty okay so far, but we got more important things to talk about. If you got any donations, any incentives, anything you want to plug right now, Sage, fire away. We got some time.
No new donations yet, but thank you guys, everyone who's donated and everyone who's donated bits in chat. We appreciate it. Again, if you donate a single donation of $10 or more, or 1,000 bits or more, we will enter you to win a $100 gift card to your choice, either Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony, or Steam. As well, incentives coming up. We have Mario Kart 64 three-way character select bid war. Yoshi is in the lead by $5. Your options are Toad, Peach, or Yoshi. If you want to see the runner go fast, pick Yoshi. If you don't, pick Toad. In our Mute Crimson race, we have the two colors that the runners are going to pick as a bid war. Right now, yellow and green are in the lead with $50 and $55 each. Yellow is the particularly hated color, so we could keep the donations coming in for that. That would be great. And later tonight, we have Bastion, which is a $50 incentive to do an any percent run after the main run. And that's $50, and we not had any donations yet. So if we could keep donations coming in for that and get that funded, that's in about 8 hours. So we got some time. I also want to plug one more time for those just joining us. Bring Them Over 3 is a marathon to get Japanese speedrunners Beko and Ohan and German speedrunner Prissy to USA for AGDQ 2020. All three of these runners are going to be featured in the Mega Man 4-6 relay race. And Beko also has a race of Ninja Gaiden 2. There's going to be very, very exciting races to watch. So thank you guys for all your support in getting these guys, helping them to afford the trip to America.
Okay, I just swapped to using Luigi in this stage recently. And by recently, I mean last night. So that Birdo fight is like really awkward for me. But the reason I switch over to Luigi is he handles this fight much faster. If I can actually make these throws. Oh, I can't. So maybe he doesn't. There we go. Now I have to deal with the fireballs. That's no good. This fight gets much easier when you're large. Oh, that's... Oh, we died. Well, that's okay. Alright, I got 3 lives. I got plenty of lives. But yeah, when you're large, you are holding the block much higher up, so it's a lot easier to get those hits in. Still possible as small, but... Alright, we got it. Took like 8,000 pauses, but that's another $5. Alright, so moving into 7-1, this is another Luigi stage. Mainly because we can jump on this bird, skip the first half of the stage. There's another skip coming up, which I think is actually possible with every character, but it's much, much easier with Luigi. So we're just going to jump off the top of that snippet, and we'll go all the way to the end. So I haven't been doing any ladder jumps or vine jumps because I'm quite bad at them, but there is one I will go for because it's basically like no penalty or bad things happen if I mess it up. So I'll at least show off the tech. It's right here. There we go, free trick. Just pick the thing up. Okay. So that's the, hopefully, last Birdo fight. We might have to fight one more. We'll see what happens. But we are on to 7-2, the last stage of SMB2U. Oh, jeez, please. Okay. Trying to farm some kills here, because as you see, taking damage in 7-2, very common for me. And I want to try and get a heart to spawn in a later room here. So there's a really big maze in 7-2, but kind of like 3-2, we're just going to skip it by using a wall jump to go on top of the stage. There we go. So the added benefit is normally that fireball... Oh, I climbed up. Alright, well, we're going to have to fight this Birdo now. So yeah, normally you have to kill this Birdo to get the key. But if you do that wall jump, the key doesn't really like spawn inside of Birdo for whatever reason. But unfortunately, I didn't drop all the way down far enough. And it caused me to... Oh, there's my heart. Well, I wasn't going to get that anyways. That's okay. So now we get the most terrifying moment of the entire run when your good bird buddy turns on you and you have to kill him. And now we are in the final boss, the wart fight. This fight is really tricky to do optimally. Dang, that was far too early. I was not used to it. So how those veggies work is if you're holding onto a veggie, they won't shoot one. But the cycles... Oh, I missed that one. The cycles work so that when wart's about to fire and when the veggies shoot out are kind of lined up. So optimally, you can throw the veggie and pick up the next one that spawns. We're getting a couple of good hits here. That was way too early. That was too late, so we have to wait for another veggie to spawn. Ooh, that was spicy. There we go. I have no idea how many hits I have him on already. I missed! Oof. It is also kind of tough to get the veggies to actually hit him. That was way too early, because if he shoots those bubbles out, they'll kill the veggies. Just like that. So yeah, just showing that off. That was all part of the plan. Okay, we got him. One more. Ooh. You ever see your life flash before your eyes because of bubbles? I just did. Oh, we didn't get it. Pretty good 2U run, though. That would have been a PB for me had I not gotten a PB just last night, so. Alright, now we're moving into the final game, SMB3. This is the game I pretend to be good at, so hopefully this will go a little better. But SMB3 is a game all about maintaining your P-speed. The longer you can run at P-speed, the better. And it's actually pretty tough in these first worlds because Mario 3 introduces a ton of new mechanics and whatnot, and they do so in the really short level sizes of Mario 3. So they kind of cram everything into one like really big section. So the early stages to move optimally is actually pretty tough. So we'll see what happens. Didn't get the early P speed here. That's a little unfortunate, but that's okay. Alright, so we're going to do a turnaround there. Basically, those 3-star cards, those 3 cards at the bottom, after you get 3 of them, you get a 1-up if you don't have 3 matching ones. If you do, you get a little extra fanfare, and that wastes time, so we try to avoid that. Alright, we got the quick leaf. So you can actually maintain your P-speed, grab that tail, and fly all the way up. This is warpless. We won't be using this warp whistle, but it is the fastest way to beat this stage, which is why we pick it up. The downside, yeah, we got Fast 5 featuring Paul Walker. The downside is that we have that whistle as the first item in our inventory for the entire run. So anytime we have to use our inventory, we have to make sure we don't accidentally whistle. So I lost my tail immediately because when you have the tail, anytime you jump, you lose some horizontal speed. And if you have P speed and you jump with the tail, the game starts a timer where it'll just kick out your P speed at the end of the timer, no matter what, no matter what's going on. Whereas if you have Big Mario, Small Mario, any other power up, you can maintain your P speed indefinitely as long as you're running on the ground. So in general, unless we absolutely need to be flying, you'll see me as like Fire Mario or something else. Okay, so this jump really sucks. Okay, we're fine there. Okay, we're still fine. Woof. So the big difference between Mario 3 on NES and Mario 3 on All-Stars is the camera. The camera in All-Stars is absolutely abysmal. As you saw there, it really does not track Mario vertically very well. So there's some jumps you're completely unsure about what's going on. 1-6 is definitely the biggest one. So as a quote-unquote feature of every world of Mario 3, there is a airship at the end, which is a nice auto-scroller. So this is the perfect time to jump in with any donations, any incentives, anything like that. We'll have one at the end of every single world, so that's probably the best time to do them.
We have a $5 donation from Hobo Jim. Just wanted to say that this runner is very entertaining and is making for a fun early afternoon viewing. Thanks. Appreciate that donation.
Yeah, thanks for the money.
To repeat again, we have our Mario Kart 64 bid war coming up. Yoshi is in the lead by $5. You can pick from Yoshi, Peach, or Toad. Yoshi is the go fast one, and Toad is the not go fast one. And we also have a Mute Crimson color choice. The top two will get picked. And right now, yellow and green are leading. Yellow being kind of the troll choice. So make sure you keep donations coming in for that one.
I looked away. Did I actually jump for that one? Did that actually happen? You don't want to jump for the wand. The wand falls down faster than Mario does in that little cutscene there, so you actually want to wait at the bottom to save a few frames. But apparently I pressed a button and jumped for the wand while getting a drink. For the fans, I guess. Alright, so this is World 2. Unfortunately, I lost my fire, or my opportunity to have fire at the end of World 1. But the World 2 is usually one where you really want to make sure you maintain that fire. As there's no fire flowers anywhere in this world until the airship. At least anywhere decent to pick it up. So we're just going to have to go through this world as Big Mario, but that's okay. This is the first world where Hammer Bros become really important. You'll see that one that just walked off. That is the one that has a music box. We're not really too interested in that. But there's another one here that has a hammer. We definitely need that hammer to go fast, but where we get it will depend on where we use it. If we happen to get it early, either right before or right after 2-3, we can actually use it to skip over a few stages and save a whole bunch of time, but it's pretty rare that it happens. But more likely than not, we'll use this hammer in World 4. But the important thing is I have to try and press the jump button. I also have to try and track these bros as they move so that I can hopefully get just the hammer and not the music box. Sometimes you don't really have a choice. They kind of just run into each other. But other times you can. There's actually some recent tech, and by recent I mean like maybe like a year ago, but that's really recent compared to how old this game is. But you can actually tell which bro is which based on how they face when they stop moving. It was actually found by a random viewer. It wasn't even a runner that discovered this. And it's actually helped out quite a bit, especially in this category where there's bros that you want to fight and bros you want to avoid. So we're going to be looking for the bro that's facing to the left when they stop moving. Alright, 2-3, a pretty straightforward stage. Actually has some dark memories for me. I ran a SMP3, not this version, but the NES version, at SGDQ 2017, and I actually floor clipped into that last little section and killed both of those Koopas, and ended up not being able to do the normal strat. So I kind of had to really quickly improvise some strats to get through that level. So now I'm like always scared of that level. But now we have the infamous sun level, where the angry sun's going to swoop down and try and kill you. The nice thing about it is the angry sun will react basically on where you land after hitting that tornado. So if you do the stage the same way every time, you'll get the same pattern, and it's probably one of the easiest stages to speedrun once you know it. Alright, so that bottom one there on the left is the hammer bro. The other one's the music box. But like I said, sometimes you get a pattern like this where we really don't have an option, and we're probably going to have to fight both of them. We might get super lucky and not have to fight the music box, but more likely than not, we'll have to fight it. We can maybe preserve some of that time in World 5 by skipping another music box bro, but that's, again, up to luck. There's a ton of luck in this category. Oh, they swapped, so yeah, we don't have a chance. Oh, I hit the corner. That's unfortunate. I almost died. That would have been even more unfortunate. Alright, we made it, though. So these bros, when they throw their boomerangs out, the game won't spawn the box until you have killed the bro and all the boomerangs that it's thrown have gone off screen. So you don't have to be super quick with those, just as long as you get them before they throw like a second boomerang out, and you'll get the same time. There's actually a strat in the 100% category of this game that uses a star on one of those bros to kill it before it throws a single boomerang, and it actually ends up saving like a very tiny amount of time. But that category is a bit more wide open in terms of how many items you can use and whatnot. With Warpless, we'll hopefully have an exact use for every single item and no more, no less. But it's going to definitely come up to chance as to whether or not we can. Alright, that was the pyramid. That's probably one of the more difficult stages, technically, early on in the run. Just having to deal with all those walls, but it went pretty okay. And now we're at the World 2 airship. Yeah, Pyramid's actually, like, it's one of the really fun stages when it goes well. But it's definitely a stage that can be really, really scary when it doesn't. But this game, I've learned to speedrun a handful of games. But this was the first one I ever really put a lot of time into. And really there isn't any other game out there that I've found that feels like Mario 3 feels like when you're going fast. Just the breakneck pace of this game is so fun. So I'm actually standing right here to make it so that these bullet bill shooters don't shoot anything out. Doesn't save any time or anything, just makes things a bit safer. Airships are kind of all about finding a strat that works and doing that every single time you're on it forever. Alright, I'm glad I waited there. Morton sometimes does that little late jump, and it can really throw you off. Okay, we're not going to jump this time. Alright, we did it. It's actually really interesting. There's been a lot of research and time put into figuring out the movement patterns of the Koopa Kids on airships, because you can base it off of the time it takes you from exiting the last stage you did until you get to the pipe. And since a lot of that is auto-scrolling, it's pretty consistent. But that time completely changes in All-Stars, so there's really not a ton of research that's been put into how the Koopa Kids are going to move around. So there's only one Koopa Kid fire kill that I'll go for, but there's actually quite a few on the NES version that have been worked out. So we're moving into World 3 now. This is another world where Hammer Bro movements really, really matter. You'll see on the overworld, there's these bridges that move up and down every time Mario finishes a stage. If we do everything correctly and we beat all these stages and fight both of these Hammer Bros, the bridge will be down from 3-6 to 3-8, and we can actually skip past 3-6 and go straight to 3-8. It's a very, very huge time save. But it's dependent on us not dying and also those bros cooperating, so we're going to hope that those bros don't run away. (3-2), a very scary stage, because those cheap hitboxes sometimes just don't work. They just go fast enough that they actually clip through Mario's feet, essentially. But that one went pretty okay. We got a fun trick coming up in the first fortress of this world. I'll talk about it when we get there. It's a trick. I'll donate $10 if I get it, but it's a one-frame trick, so it's we'll see what happens. You never know. So 3-3 is a stage that has the one-hit KO of Boss Bass on it. You also have to deal with rising and falling water, so it's kind of a stage where if one thing goes wrong, it can go wrong really quickly. I have to really watch out for my coin count here. I haven't talked about it yet, but in Worlds 1, 3, 5, and 6, the worlds that have regular Hammer Bros... Wait, hold up, we gotta go for third door. I'll talk about it in a sec. Ah, dang, didn't get it. So I have one frame to press up when I'm over top of that door, and Mario will re-enter it, and that takes me straight to the Boom Boom fight. Saves about 6 seconds if you get it, but loses about 9 to 10 if you don't. So it's usually done either for like marathon swag or if your run is like pretty much dead. It actually used to be in the 100% world record for a while because the guy who got it, Karua, had a not too good run going, so he just decided to go for third door, but then he actually got it and ended up getting world record after it. So, all right, but we'll talk about these bros. So you see my coin count down there is 42, and my tens digit of my score is now 50. So if those ever all match up, so if I have a multiple of 11, like 44 coins, and I have a 4 in that tens digit, it'll change one of the normal Hammer Brothers in 1, 3, 5, or 6. It'll turn them into a coin chip, which is a really slow auto-scroller that we don't want to deal with. So throughout the run, you'll see me like hitting a couple bricks like that, or maybe grabbing an extra coin somewhere, just doing something. Dang, strat's tough. Doing something to try and adjust that so I don't run into a coin chip. Another difference between this game and the NES version you saw right there, for whatever reason, the game will buffer your B input. So if you have fire or like a tail, you'll do a tail wag or shoot a fireball immediately upon entering a stage. And that actually really screws up that strat in 3-4. You want to shoot 2 fireballs to take out those Goombas in specific spots. Alright, so we got the cloud over. Unfortunately, we have to deal with the stage that has a one-hit KO and Boss Bass again. But luckily, if you kind of move the exact same way, it's not too big of a deal. And we should be okay here. Oh, I didn't get speed. That's alright. Let's see, what other differences are there? 4-4 in the next world is actually, the layout is a bit different. I'll talk about it when we get there. But that's kind of those are kind of the main things. There's one other change that I'll talk about when that comes up as well. But a lot of this game is similar. So like if you're comfortable with running the NES version, or you're comfortable running the All-Stars version, running the other probably won't be too bad. You just have to really adjust to the camera. That's the big thing. Didn't get the little H jump. I don't know why I did a turn back on the jump before that. That wasn't gonna work out, but that's okay. Yeah, rule 1 of SMP3 Warpless is don't die in 3-8. You just lose a crazy amount of time. Not only do you basically waste your cloud, but you also have to go through 3-6, which is an auto-scroller, in order to get back to 3-8. So it's just a really massive time loss. And even if you get a runaway bro, unless you're in like a race or something, for pretty much any level runner, it's just a reset because you're losing quite a lot of time. So we're going on the World 3 airship. This features Wendy. She is probably one of the toughest bosses to do a jump kill on because she shoots out rings that will stay on the map. Unlike the other Koopa kids that just fire out one shots. The rings that Wendy shoots will bounce around. And she shoots one every time you jump on her head. So the fight becomes progressively more difficult. Luckily, she's on a nice flat plane, so a fire kill is a bit easier. But her hitbox is slightly higher on the All-Stars version, so there's a pretty unfortunately large chance that one of these fireballs will actually just bounce underneath her hitbox and miss her. So we'll have to see how that goes and adjust if need be. But if you want to plug anything really quick, I got about 10-15 seconds before the boss here.
No new donations, but thank you very much for tuning in. This is Bring 'em Over to bring Ohan, Beko, and Prissy over to America for AGDQ 2020. Your donations make it possible for them to travel to America for that event. I also want to add, thank you for having me. I am going to be leaving shortly here, so next time you hear a host is going to be the dulcet tones of Fast at CC. So thank you very much for having me, and I will see you again tomorrow.
Thanks so much, Sage. Alright, so we did see a couple of those fireballs actually scoot under Wendy. I kind of had to just make do with it. One thing that is a little bit faster, one of the other reasons we're playing on Japanese 1.0 is the text and these cutscenes are a little faster. Also, World 4 Overworld is an absolute banger. All the music is like kind of restyled, and I really love the World 3 and World 4 Overworlds. So welcome to World 4. This is probably most people's favorite worlds, casually. It's also a pretty fun world to speedrun. Get the nice big world. So I tried to go for a strat there that would despawn that piranha plant. I did end up despawning it, but not in the fastest possible way. But that makes the stage much quicker because you end up having that whole stretch of land to build up your P-speed for the second half of the stage. It's much nicer. Coming up on probably my favorite world, or my favorite level to run, a lot of people's favorite levels, 4-3. Alright, just like riding a bike. That level features a ton of different, like, really quick tech, and it just, like, looks really satisfying when it all pulls off, so it's a top level for a lot of runners, myself included. I want to fight this bro. Alright, so we're using this hammer to skip past 4F2. Like I said, we didn't get the early hammer in World 2, so this is basically our next best option for skipping levels. We'll use 2 other hammers, both in World 6, coming up. Here's 4-4, which is laid out differently. So you see the layout of the water. On the NES version, there's actually 2 different levels of water, but for whatever reason, they couldn't pull it off on the SNES version, so they made it like one flat, continuous level. But what that does is makes the first part, I almost get sniped there. It makes it the first part, the water's a lot lower, but on the second part, the water's a bit higher. So it really changes how that level works, and it's just like, it's a completely different strat on All Stars. Alright, what are these bros doing? I'm just gonna fight this one, I think. So I have a decision to make, between, it's the P-Wing, nice. So there's a P-Wing bro and a Star bro in this world, and there's also a P-Wing bro and a Star bro at the beginning of World 5. Between those 4 bros, optimally, I'd like to get just one P-Wing. And I do have a music box to put some bros asleep somewhere. So I got good luck here and got just the P-Wing. I'm gonna hopefully this bro moves to the right after this level, so I don't have to fight him. Dang, never lucky. So we got the extra star here, but that's okay. So I'll use the music box down at the beginning of World 5 in order to skip all of those bros. Didn't get it. So there's actually a really tough P-speed build at the beginning of 4F2, where you're really making it kind of abusing how the P-speed mechanic works. The game only checks every certain number of frames as to whether or not Mario's running on the ground. So if you time those properly, the game won't be checking for P-speed while you're in the air, but it'll check again once you're on the ground, and you'll be able to completely build that P-speed. But like I said, it's really tough to get. You have to be really precise with your movements. And I am not too horribly practiced at this game at the moment. But as we see Donkey Kong King, we're moving on to the World 4 airship. This is a really great time to stand up and stretch, make a sandwich, write a book, do something. This airship moves twice as slow as all the other airships in the game for whatever reason. So this whole stage takes about 2 minutes and it's very boring. So I guess I'll throw it over to SMB3 Legend, Fastest CC, for any donations or anything.
Man, is that going to be my legacy when I'm done?
It will be to me.
Oh my goodness. Not sitting on any donations right now. I'm taking over for Sage, so I'll be hosting for the next few hours. I got a nice block here, so the schedule makers did me a favor. Got some fun stuff coming up after Super Mario All Stars. We got Super Mario World. Just so you guys know, the incentives that are coming up next for my block, we have Mario Kart 64 character bid war. Currently, Yoshi is leading over Peach and Toad. And then a little bit later, we have Mute Crimson Plus. We have a color goal, color incentive. Right now, green and yellow are in the lead. Yeah, get your donations in for that. And yeah, just looking forward to being here and hosting. So far, $1,300 out of 5,000 on.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, you guys are really helping us out here. So we're looking forward to bringing Becco and Ohon and Prissy over to GDQ and Mega Man 4 through 6 Relay. I never thought that would happen, so I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, that really is going to be great. So
yeah,
really awesome that we can put this together. And thanks to all of you again for donating and helping out. All right, we're coming up on Iggy here. It's still going. We're almost there, I promise. Okay, we made it. Iggy's a bro that can also jump really, really quickly and actually jump through Mario's feet. So you kind of have to watch out during that fight, but he was kind there. Also, I haven't mentioned it yet, but I set my coins to 69, not only because it's a nice meme, but it also is very important for setting up my coins for World 5. It just happens to work out that way. So it's a win-win. Oh, that's not what I was trying to do. I think this is the strat? Okay. I had to remember that strat changes if you're big or Fire Mario. And I was not expecting to take that hit, so I didn't know what to do. But that's okay. So here are those other two bros. Like I said, we already got the P-Wing we want in World 4, so we're just going to put these bros to sleep in a second here in order to skip by them. 5-2 is the stage that has the Pit of Despair. If I would not have made it up to that pipe, I would have taken a really long fall that would have sent me to a really awful zone, but instead we get to go up to this area, which on All Stars is still underground for some reason. I don't understand how that works out, but luckily got a nice comfy 5-2. Alright, I'm gonna remember to put these bros to sleep after this pipe. I'm not gonna forget. Here we go. Is everybody ready? We're gonna do it. Yeah, we did it. So the reason that matters is normally you get 2 levels of the bros being asleep, but since the next level after this one, the tower, works a little differently, you actually get like an extra level of sleep, which means less movements to have to worry about. It's something I like almost always forget unless I think about it for the entire world. But so I haven't talked about Boom Boom kills yet. Normally you want to kill Boom Booms with fire. 5 fireballs are really quick to kill it. As you saw there, using 3 jumps takes a little bit longer because you have to wait out his little invincibility periods. But we got another swaggy trick coming up in here. Tower, a very tough stage to maintain your P-speed throughout the entire thing. I'm going to try to go for something called the Sunday Sequence Break in this room. We'll see if it works out. Oh, I didn't get the speed I needed. Okay. You can actually clip on the top of that, or the bottom of that pipe, and go down into it. It's the same tech that kind of sets up the wrong warp, if you've ever seen an any % run of this game. You can just go, like, on the right side of a pipe, you can go the wrong way, and it'll still take you to where you want to go. So the reason that's called the Sunday Sequence Break is because of the show The Sunday Sequence Break, an old podcast about speedrunning that had that clip shown in the opening credits of it. Rest in peace, Sunday Sequence Break. But now we're coming up to 5-4, and this is the reason that Chelny... Oh, I died. Shout out to Chelny. I died on this level because when Chelny played this stage casually, this is one of the stages where the lack of lag on SMB 3 on All-Stars really shows through. You normally have to deal with a lot of lag on this stage in NES, but you have none here. So when Chelny played this level casually, it completely threw him off because he was trying to time all of his jumps like there would be lag and there was none. And he died a lot on this stage. And I had to point it out because we love Chelny. There were lots of Chelny noises that day. Alright, so I unfortunately lost my fire, but I can pick it up over the course of the next 2 stages here. There's a mushroom here and a fire flower at the beginning of 5-7. So not the worst spot in the world to lose fire, but it is a little slower. And my coin count is absolutely perfect right now. I'm 1 above where my multiple of 10 is. I'd like to skip this bro down here. This is the other one that has a music box. And since I already got the one in World 2, I don't necessarily need this one. But this one is a lot more difficult to skip than the one in World 2. And also is a little bit of a faster fight than the one in World 2. So that's why we normally try to skip the one in World 2, but it doesn't always work out. But we'll see his movement right now. If he goes right, we're okay. If he goes up, then nothing we can do about it. Never lucky. Never lucky. I got the bottom or the top spawn as well. If you get the top or the bottom spawn, then it goes a lot faster to kill him. But moving into 5F2, this level in that room right there actually features a clip that sends you all the way to the boss. But it's sub-pixel dependent, and if you miss it, you have no recovery, so you die. And you only save about 6 seconds because the thing you scroll through is super duper long. So it's another one of those tricks that, like, only if you're trying to really mad swag out or trying to save or kill your run do you ever go for it. Yeah, but now we're coming up on 5-8. This stage in the Nintendo Power Guide to SMB3 states that it's actually impossible to get through without taking damage, so let's see what happens. Yeah, we did it. We proved the critics wrong. This is Chocobo Racing. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Using a cloud to skip over the worst level of the game, 5-9, moving to the World 5 airship. No one can. It's true. I mean, listen. I'm not saying Nintendo Power was wrong. I'm just saying that I didn't take damage. That's all. And they said I couldn't.
What's your favorite airship, Lib?
My favorite airship is the World 6 airship. And I'll talk about why that's my favorite airship when it comes up. This one, World 5's not too bad, though. I mean, basically, any airship that isn't World 4 is okay. Like, World 4 is just misery. The rest of them, you can at least do enough things to keep yourself entertained. That's always the difficulty. It's not getting through the airship, it's actually keeping yourself from doing something stupid because you're bored.
What's like the most common auto scroller for you to like take unintentional damage in this game?
Probably World 3. That one, like, if things go a little different, you have like the rocky wrenches and stuff that are throwing stuff around. So sometimes if something doesn't go exactly how it normally goes, you can get yourself into some sticky situations. But yeah, we just killed Roy. Roy's a beefy boy, and he smashes the ground every time he lands, so you just gotta make sure you're in the air when he's jumping, otherwise it's pretty straightforward. There's actually a really easy fire kill setup in 100% for Roy, but since we use a cloud in Warpless, it really throws off. You don't really have that consistent, like, this is how long it's gonna take me to get from the end of the stage to the boss, so you kind of just have to work with what you got. Alright, so we're rolling into World 6. We're going to use a hammer right away to skip past 6-1, 6-2, and 6-3. But now we don't have any hammers in our inventory, and this Koopa, or this hammer row is going to feel bad for us and give us another one. And we'll use that one later on in World 6 here. So this is another one where we really want to keep track of those bros. The bro that just walked to the left has a star, and the one that walked over to the right has a cloud. Obviously, we want the cloud, we don't want the star. But we're going to have one movement here where we can't really tell exactly where they're going to go. Unless we get like a movement of 2 or something like that. But this is where that that extra, like, being able to tell which way they face really helps. Also, say hi to Boom Boom, everybody. Now say bye to Boom Boom, everybody. By carrying that star all the way through to the end, we can one-hit kill that Boom Boom. That's another one of those tiny changes that actually makes a lot of difference. The star timer on All-Stars actually rolls through the cutscene, where it doesn't normally on NES. So the movement to get to that Boom Boom and still have a star is much tighter on the All-Stars version. But still doable. So yeah, so I got a movement of 2 after that fortress. So I believe the one that we can see on screen should be the one with the cloud. Yeah, you don't get the upside down question mark block. We might not have a choice. Okay, so the one up top is the one with the cloud now. I didn't use a P-Wing! This is so sad. I gotta take an intentional death here. This stage is one that requires you to fly to get through, so it's overall fastest for us to use a P-Wing. I did the same thing in my practice run last night. I don't know why I'm forgetting to use a P-Wing here. There's a really long explanation for why there's no upside down question mark block that I could go into if you really want me to. But it's basically based on how they calculate Boom Boom's HP in the game. Also, my coin count is not great, but my score is okay. And we'll be fighting the last 1 or 2 Hammer Bros in a second here, so. I don't know which one's which. Because I didn't see which way they were facing. This is a weird situation. Ah, dang. Picked incorrectly. So we have an extra star. That really comes down to me messing up in 6-5. I would have been able to probably track them otherwise, but that's okay. It'd be like that sometimes. Alright, so I have that multiple of 11 and the 10 digit in the score, but it's okay because that's the last hammer row we have to deal with. And I have 1,000 items in my inventory, so I didn't know where my hammer was. 6F2 is a stage that really challenges how good you are with the tail. We're managing our P meter really carefully there in order to fly across those 2 gaps. Oh, hey, real quick, Fasted, you want to see something cool?
Always.
Okay, cool. That'll just change my strat here in 6-8. So I'll take an intentional hit here in 6-8. Hopefully only one so I don't die. Alright, we got the big H jump. That one's quite a bit easier than the little H, but still a little tricky. So, I've intentionally taken damage here to be small, for very important reasons coming up here in 6-9. Normally you P-Wing over top of this stage, because that's easy and fast. But we don't need a P-Wing. Trying to hit the pixel. Still not hitting the pixel. There it is. Alright, easy trick.
Oh, baby.
So that wall jump, like, even if you get it first try, it's still a little bit slower than just P-winging over. So it's usually not done, but I figure it's a marathon. Let's have some fun. I want to take... There we go. Wanted to take some damage here, something big. There is a floor clip here in 6F3 that if you get it saves a lot of time. I jumped too far there, though. If you clip into the floor right there, it takes you straight to the Boom Boom fight and you skip this second room. But floor clips are actually sub-pixel dependent, meaning that you could do everything correctly and still not clip in, just because of how the game works. So there's a little bit of luck involved. But we're coming up on the World 6 airship. As I mentioned, this is my favorite airship. There's a really tricky jump at the beginning. That's a lot of fun to do. So here we go. Wish me luck, everybody. Set this up. All right. Okay. Oh no. Don't worry, I'm okay. So that's a fun little jump. You don't see that platform until the very end. So it's a fun setup to make it look like you're gonna die, but you're actually fine. I did unfortunately miss the clip that's right after that. You can actually clip up to the top section of the airship, which still exists even though you normally can't get to it. But it's really nice because then the game just plays itself for 15 seconds. I should note too, the death plane is apparently a little bit higher on All-Stars because I pulled off the troll jump once and then actually died right after it anyways because I hit the death plane earlier than I normally would have on NES, so... You gotta make sure you jump like right away after doing that one. Alright, so Lemmy, a pretty straightforward fight. Just gotta jump on him and bounce on the balls once so they don't really mess with you. But we're coming up on one of the biggest tricks of the run, the 7-1 clip. 7-1, a really infamous level in any category of this game that you played in. It features the wrong warp that you see in the 80% category, but it also features a clip that lets you basically skip the entire thing. Oh, dang. So I think I did everything right there, but I actually got sub-pixeled. So this is another thing that you're kind of dependent on where your sub-pixel is as to whether or not you get the clip. And if you see me kind of get stuck but not go through, that usually means that I hit the right spot but didn't have a good enough sub-pixel. But these are all really bad attempts. Oh, there's another sub-pixel, I think. There we go. We made it. That's the best thing about running Mario 3 is you just blame everything on sub-pixels no matter what it is. And everybody just believes you.
Yeah, you got sub-pixeled like 20 times in a row. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, definitely. It's wild. Alright, 7-2 is a tough stage. Let's see what happens. Alright, so I did all that build so that I could use the star to go through that guy and keep P-speed to jump over that gap. Normally you have to fall down in that gap and then hit some of the note blocks so that you can actually cross it, but luckily was able to get across it no problems. I've been having a lot of trouble with that stage in practice, so glad that it worked out here. First try. But yeah, I think there's something, I don't know if it's specifically my SNES D-pad or every SNES D-pad, but they seem to like want to do up and down inputs a lot more often than they do on the NES D-pad. And if you do an up input while you're trying to clip into 7-1, you might go in the door and have to play the stage. So like, I take it a little safer and less aggressively than I do normally. It's gonna probably come up here in 7-9 as well. I might have some issues with the D-pad, but we'll see what happens. So skipping over the second worst stage in the game, 7-4. That's a nice underwater auto-scroller, because that's good design. We're going into 7 F1. This is another puzzle stage that ends up being faster just using a P-Wing instead of having to go through the level and find the actual leaf. Oh, whoops. I missed that jump and lost all my speed. Okay. I also get to listen to the absolutely gorgeous P-Speed sound in this entire stage. Oh, it's so good. Just in case you missed that P-Speed sound, don't worry, we're going to use it here again in 7.6. This is another stage you can just fly right over the top of and skip. You can also clip into this stage as well, like you can in 7.1, but it's actually just a little bit slower even if you get the first try clip. And that clip is actually a little tougher to do. You don't have as much room to build up speed like you do in 7.1. But now we're going to move into 7-8. This is the second level that really kind of challenges your skills with the star and the tail. If I take one hit of damage at some point in this level, that's okay. But hopefully it's only one. Okay, that's fine. Alright, going into 7-9. So, optimally, this stage will feature 4 clips on the ground. These clips are not sub-pixel dependent because I can make them at P-speed. So this is all on me as to whether or not I get them. Oops, as long as I have P-speed. Too early. Try this a few more times. Oops, I didn't crouch there. Blame my D-pad. I didn't get P-speed. Okay, here we go. It's impossible. Okay, there we go. So the second and fourth clips are absolutely mandatory and also easy, apparently. There we go. Dude, this game's free. This game's so free. Alright, we did it. But those second and fourth clips, since you're not supposed to be down there like that, you're actually stuck without clipping. And so the second one actually gets a little scary because I have a billion items. Because you might get hit by one of those Paragoombas and lose your big and not be able to clip. I used to be really, really good at the 7-9 clips. But that was a hot minute ago. So now it's just like trying my best. But we're coming up on the World 7 airship. We're in it now. This is actually the longest level in the game. It scrolls like a normal auto-scroller, but it's a little bit more than twice as long as the World 4 airship. So this one does end up taking the prize as longest auto-scroller in the game. So if you've got any last words, Fasta, go ahead and fire them off. I don't know why last words. I'm not going to do anything terrible to you, I promise.
Yeah, that was kind of ominous. Just a reminder that this is Bring 'em Over 3. We are raising money to bring Ohan, Beko, and Prizzy over for the Mega Man 4 through 6 relay. Tickets to fly here are pretty expensive, so this will be our third year doing it, and I'm really looking forward to seeing Mega Man 4 through 6 at GDQ. As for what's coming up after Glib's run, we have Super Mario World 11 Exit as the next run. Following that, we have Star Tropics and then Sonic the Hedgehog 2. So a lot of really good runs coming up. Make sure to get those donations in, and yeah, keep enjoying.
All right. Just about to the end here. These are actually probably the only tricky jumps that you have to do on airships. These spinners sometimes, or rollers, whatever they're called, sometimes give you a little sass, but turned out okay. Luckily, there's none of these spinners you have to jump on more than once, so as long as you can time that first jump off and know where you're going next, it's not too bad. Ludwig also one of the Koopa kids that stomps the ground when he lands. So him and Roy both, like, if you take one hit, it can easily turn into 2 and turn into 3 and turn into you're dead and lost 2 minutes. Just because of how your iframes work and how long you're stunned for. So those are sort of scary fights, especially for newer runners. Now, luckily we made it through. Now, I know what you're saying. You're saying, man, all those airships are done. We're not going to have any more auto-scrollers for the rest of the run. This is so sad, because I love moving at a consistent pace. Well, don't worry. We've got 2 more to start off World 8. So now we're going through, I guess, what is described as the different branches of Bowser's military. This is the army, I guess. I don't know if it's ever, like, in lore stated that, or if that's just, like, what's come up.
Look at that gorgeous background.
Yeah, the background in the army is really dope in World 8 and All Stars. They make a weird choice, I would say, in 8.1. We'll see that one. But, like, instead of it just being a straight-up black background, they did some fun things with it. The Land of Bowser has a lot of different, like, we got mountains here. We're gonna see a jungle later. There's like an ocean somehow too. Like, this is a very, very rich biome.
Is the ocean blood red?
It's like actually brown in this one, I think.
Okay.
I don't actually. I'm not even like look. I mean, we'll see in like 2 seconds, because that's on the next level. But I actually, now that you mention it, I don't really remember what color they went with. I think they still went with the chocolate milk color though. We'll see. So here's a little bit of luck in World 8, depending on what this boomerang bro does. He moved back. So if he moves forward and waits to throw his boomerang, you can actually kill him before he throws it, and that saves a couple seconds. But that's all based on luck. There's nothing you can do to control it. Yeah, okay. So they did still go with the chocolate milk flavor.
Can't mess with the classic, I guess.
Yeah. But we're coming up on the last and biggest source of RNG in the run, because what would Mario 3 be without luck? Well, we're coming up on the hands. There are 3 potentially optional stages that basically we have a 50-50 chance of either being able to skip over or being dragged in by a hand to have to play the stage. It's really awful when you're on a good run and you get 3 hands, but since this is a marathon and we don't care, I will donate $10 for every hand that I get. I guess I can ask chat to place their bets as to how many we'll get. It's always a fun game. And I always get to see who is wishing the worst for me. What's going on? Okay. We got some boat swag. Boat swag's very important. Definitely sets up the RNG and isn't a myth. That wasn't very good boat swag, so we might get a couple hands here. Everybody's calling 3. Wow. Unreal. Yo, easy game, dude. Always lucky. Easy game, easy life. Alright, so now we are on the Air Force. This auto-scroller actually moves twice as fast as any other auto-scroller in the game. So you have to be pretty careful. This is a really tough stage, especially casually. Especially having to deal with all these rocky wrenches and whatnot. It's a lot easier when you have like fire or a tail to deal with these guys really quickly, because they're kind of spaced out just perfectly so that they'll throw one almost right away on being on screen, and they'll throw one right as they leave the screen. So if you can take them out with the fireballs, you at least avoid a lot of the times them throwing that second one. That's true. Mario hates Mega Man. Taking away $30. Alright, so now we're getting into the actual meat and potatoes of World 8. The actual stages we have to play. I have 1 billion extra stars, so we can use one here. 8-1 is one of those stages that the strats do kind of change a little bit on All-Stars. And it's strictly because... Hold on. Oh, we missed that. It's strictly because when you shoot a fireball on All-Stars, if you're above the top of the screen, the fireball just does not spawn. It will normally on NES, but it doesn't on SNES. So there's a piranha plant right at the beginning that you normally just shoot a fireball from off-screen to kill, but you can't do that in this version, so it's a little unfortunate. But I used an extra star there to not have to worry about it. Oh, that's no good. Alright, well, we're gonna have to take this safe. Normally you can use fireballs to take care of these piranha plants and climb this hill quickly, but I just barely got nicked by that one. Hopefully the sun does not hit me. Okay, we're good. That was close, we made it. Although we do get to see something fun. Mario's like animations have a bunch more sprites in them on All-Stars, so a lot of times... Oh dang, we got a boring one. I was setting this up. So a lot of times you get to see some really fun animations while you're picking up a power-up with a star, because Mario's in the middle of his like front flips or whatever, but that time we got a boring one. We're gonna try to get to the very end of the stage using only one P-switch here. Alright, we made it. It's a pretty tight window. You lose about 15 seconds if you don't get it, so it's one of those tricks early on you really want to get good at. So, all right, we're coming up on one last auto scroller, and this is an auto scroller that has a strat named after me. The current name of the strat takes about as long as the level, but it is the world famous, patented, Day 1 affiliate, Aweglib Super Tank Strat TM with a Vengeance. And what it is you just stand on the right, you spam your fireballs, and you just jump anytime it looks like you gotta jump. And you'll get through this stage, no problem. So, while I'm going through this last auto-scroller, if you have any last donations or any last plugs you want to get in before the end of the run, go right ahead and do it.
Yeah, sure thing. Actually have a donation from Tobias, donated $10 with no comment, so thank you for that. Yeah, keep those donations coming.
Thanks everybody for all the donations and having a lot of fun. This is like I said at the beginning, this is a really challenging category because you're constantly dealing with differing physics and you have to play 4 different games that you have, varying skill levels in. But this is a lot of fun to do overall. Like I really enjoy doing these runs, so thanks for having me. Shout outs to everybody at the Bring 'em Over staff. Again, you guys do a terrific job for an awesome cause, so really happy to be a part of it again.
Got time for more donation?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, we actually had a couple more come in as well. From Ernoskij, donated $30. Says 3 of 3 hands did not agree with me. Walrus Prime also donated $30. Says to replace the $30 that the hand stole from us. Thank you so much, you guys. Really appreciate that.
Easy clip. So that clip saves 1.5 seconds if you get it, loses 2.5 if you don't. So it's mad swag. That clip right there is actually completely free and is known about in the Nintendo Power Guide, so that one's not cheating. Don't tell me that I'm cheating. Yo, I remembered to crouch in the last jump. Okay, sick. So, now we gotta kill Bowser. 35 fireballs will do it. Normally on NES you can kind of stand up here and do it, but since Bowser's hitbox is slightly different, you kind of have to come up with a different strat. I didn't want him to go all the way up top there. And I'm really bad at mashing? Okay, we got it. I'm really bad at mashing, so that fight gets like extra difficult for me. But that's it. Time will come when I enter the door. Time. Alright, nice run.
GG.
Finished SMB3 with a casual 57. So that's good. But yeah, this is a really fun category, as I said. Check out some, there's some Japanese runners at this game. YMGC is insanely good at all 4 of these games. He has the world record in this category, which is a 2:01, so it's 28 minutes faster than the run I just did. It's absolutely insane, really good runner. And yeah, this is just a really fun category, so I'm happy I got to show it off for you.